A while ago, I got this super small mini board. These boards are usually used in small AIO PC or industrial applications. Just like laptops of that time, it uses DDR3 sodium RAM. Sadly, there is only one slot, which I installed a Samsung 4GB stick. In terms of I/O, from left to right, we have 12V DC power jack, 2 USB 2.0, 2 USB 3.0, Ethernet HDMI out audio jack. In terms of onboard connection, we got one from USB 2.0, one SATA, and onboard set power connector. The board also comes with mini PCIe Wi-Fi card, but no antenna though. Flip to the back side, we can find the model Honda HI54. Also, there's one MSATA slot. This was very common before M.2 took over. I got a 128GB one, with Windows 10 already pre-installed, so we don't have to mess with SATA cable. Since the board looks quite dirty, I did a bit of cleaning and repaste. Now the thermal and noise level is much better. In terms of case, it's not easy to find off-the-shelf one of this form factor, so I made one with plywood by myself. It was quite rough with just one power jumper, doesn't even have front USB. The neat part is filtered with dust filter, but without any sort of secure mechanics. To install the board, all I need to do is 4 screws and cover the lid. That's it. Well, how about that? Isn't it adorable? After connecting the power cable, monitor, mouse, and keyboard, the little machine booted successfully. But without antenna, the Wi-Fi signal is very bad. That's easy to fix. Now we have proper Wi-Fi. Okay, now let's talk about performance. The CPU is Intel 4th Gen Mobile i5-4200U. It has 2 cores, 4 threads with base clock of 2.3 GHz, max turbo of 2.6 GHz. The graphics is Haswell GT2 with only 20 shaders running at 1000 MHz. In CPU-Z, we got a multi-core score of less than 600, single core 226. For daily use, things like browsing the internet or watching television videos are okay. But what about gaming? Well, we are limited to 2010-ish 2D games. For example, in PvZ, with 3D acceleration on and a windowed mode, the game runs at 90 plus FPS, actually quite smooth. In another masterpiece of that time, World of Goo, the game runs at a solid 60 FPS. But when I try to play Portal 1 in 1080p stock settings, the game runs at 30 to 60 FPS with slight tearing causing quite a headache. Maybe if I turn down the graphics settings, we could get a little better performance, but I think for an old and tiny PC like this, 3D gaming is just too much.
Please move quickly to the chamber lock, as the effects of prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
In conclusion, this build is not very pragmatic. The performance, especially the graphics, is not good enough as a retro gaming PC. And since it only has one SATA, you can't use the board as NAS or something. The only real-world usage is maybe just as a web browser. That's all. I fully understand all that, but when I saw the board on second-hand market, I still feel I have to buy it just because it looks so much fun. The whole project took me quite some time and effort, especially the plywood case, but I enjoyed it and I hope you find it interesting too. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.